Hello and welcome to Australia.
We are at Brighton Beach, which is a suburb of Melbourne. We got in late last night.
It was very late last night. We didn't finally get to bed until midnight after our very long flights on Singapore Air, which were amazing, and you should check out that video if you haven't seen it right before this one. But we are walking along the beach in front of these incredibly iconic beach houses, or beach boxes as they like to say. And we're meeting up with some friends that we actually met on a trip in Santorini
In 2018.
2018. And I actually see them in front of us. So we're going to put down the camera and we'll talk to y'all later. It is a new day here in Melbourne. We left you hanging at the beach, sorry about that, but we're catching up with some really good friends of ours, Sharon and Chris and their kids, as well as Chester, their dog, on the beach.
My favorite.
Yes, his favorite. No, Chris and Sharon, your favorite.
Yes, Chris and Sharon and the kids are my favorite.
Love you, Chris and Sharon. Anyway, we are starting our day here because it ended up being a late night and we were still jet lagged slightly. So we are staying at the W, which is this gorgeous building behind us.
It is, of course, a Marriott Bonvoy hotel. It's actually our first time to stay at a W hotel. It's pretty cool. It has a very hip, very cool vibe. The staff is great. They're very friendly. The room is absolutely exceptional.
Yes, we got upgraded to the Fantastic Room.
The Wow Suite.
The Wow Suite, excuse me, yes.
Which is the nicest suite that they will offer titanium and platinum's free upgrade to. Which it's really the second to the best suite that they have.
It's pretty nice. We'll show you around that a little bit later.
Definitely. But for now, we are going to go on a free walking tour of Melbourne.
Yes.
We'll link that in the description.
Yeah, it starts at 11 o'clock in Flinders Square. Is it Flinders?
Federal Square?
Federation
Square. It starts at Federation Square. So
we're learning as we walk. I kind of feel like I'm at the beach, but not really, because I'm in the middle of a town square. This is Federation Square, our meeting point for our free walking tour. And it is a nice little cozy place to hang out. You can see it's really cool, very artsy, very great architecture feel. There's even another tour walking past us as we speak, so obviously this is a place to visit. But we're gonna hang out here because we're a few minutes early. Yesterday when we were walking past here, there was actually a jazz festival going on, which was kind of cool. I think it was the last day of it, sadly, because it's definitely not happening right now. But we're gonna hang out and
sit in these Adirondack chairs and enjoy this beautiful breeze that I said I wish we had a few minutes ago.
He literally just said, I wish there was a breeze, because there wasn't, and now there's a breeze. Now I'm a little chilly, because I need some sun for this
we'll be fine.
Beach day.
After spending a few minutes staring up at the giant skyscrapers, we met up with our tour. Being in the heart of the city, it was a perfect place to start our wander through Melbourne.
Right off, we walked past several super modern buildings and several historic ones. We even got a glimpse of the beautiful Gothic St. Paul's Cathedral before arriving at the iconic Hosier Lane.
This famous laneway is known for its iconic street art, some of which is incredibly impressive. Sadly, now there's lots of graffiti covering up the beautiful artwork.
We then passed through a few of Melbourne's beautiful old arcades, which houses many restaurants, shopping, and even some fun history.
I never thought we'd end up in prison, but here we are at the Old Melbourne Gaol, which is now on the grounds of the RMIT University.
Another unique stop was the Old Melbourne City Bath from 1860, which is still in use today.
That was an amazing tour of the city. Our tour guide Zoe was absolutely fantastic.
She really was.
Really, really nice, very charismatic, great tour guide. And our tour has ended, ironically, in front of the old Queen Victoria Market.
I was going to say conveniently in front of the old Victoria Market.
Conveniently in front of the old Victoria Market.
No, is it the old Victoria or the Queen Victoria? Queen Victoria Market. We're saying that wrong.
Queen Victoria Market,
Yes.
which is the largest open-air market in the southern hemisphere.
Yeah, you can pick up your fish, your meat, your cheese, your wine, your beer, your pastries,
Cannolis.
your cannolis. We did actually try some. We sampled some cannoli. Souvenirs, clothing. I'm looking at. I think there's a whole bunch of other stuff inside, but really cool place to come see because it is the largest and one of the oldest places here in Melbourne. Apparently, it was built on top of the old cemetery.
Yeah, so we're standing on top of about 9,000 graves, apparently.
A little gruesome, but
Great place for a market.
apparently that's what the city people thought too. Anywho, we are going to go explore the market for a little bit, try to find me some coffee because Melbourne is known for its coffee. We have made our way across the river, the Yarra River, in fact, over to what's called the South Bank. It is a very popular space to just kind of hang out with families and finding food and just, a nice little place to walk. As you can see, the beautiful city of Melbourne behind us. All the things that we did today with our walking tour were on that side of the river. But obviously, as you can see, there's
Flies
even
are
more
terrible over here.
flies are pretty bad. But there's plenty of things to do on this side of the river too.
Over here, to the left of where I'm standing, you'll find the Crown Casino and Crown Towers. It's one of the few casinos in Australia. Also, they have a really nice looking Ferris wheel, which is in front of us on this side of the river. So, great places to hang out over here. But right now, we're going to go find some dinner and hang out more with our friends Sharon and Chris.
Well, good morning. We ended our night last night having some dinner right on the waterfront, which was amazing and beautiful scenery, just a really cool night. Then we also went out and had a couple drinks at this really fun little bar called Ponyfish. It's actually underneath a bridge right on the Yarra River. It doesn't actually float, like it's not a pontoon. It actually is a part of the solid bridge. So when the water rises, it actually floods and they have to shut down. So pretty unique experience. Thankfully, we had no flooding last night, which is great, but we might this morning because it is actually raining outside. So before we head out, I'm going to have Ryan show you around this gorgeous room that we told you about yesterday. And then we were going to go show you a few more things because the rain is not going to stop us. As you know, we don't mind getting out and carrying an umbrella with us for the day. But first, let's get to the room. Ryan, room review.
Okay. Welcome to the W Hotel Melbourne. We got upgraded to this wow suite, as they call it. It is 1,300 square feet, a complete open concept surrounded by windows. It has great views of the Melbourne Central Business District. This is the lovely living room. You have a nice couch. You walk into the kitchen area. You have a giant countertop with a sink. You walk over here. You've got another elevated table. You have a nice wet bar, which actually comes with different types of cocktail glasses. My favorite one is this martini glass. How often do you stay in a hotel that you have a martini glass in your room? The bedroom actually does close off from the rest of the room. Into the bedroom, you still have sweeping views of the city. You have a lovely W bed, which is super comfortable. We have slept oh so good here. And you come into the bathroom area, you walk into the dressing area, which you have a nice little closet. And into the bathroom, you have a separate toilet area, which has a Toto washlet, basically a bidet installed, one of the Japanese toilets. It's really cool. You walk in, the lid pops up, so it greets you every time and says hello.
It doesn't actually say hello.
It doesn't. It should say konnichiwa, but it doesn't. And you have a nice double vanity with lots of mirrors. And the little wet room here is the shower with the tub, and you can actually sit in the bathtub and look out over the city of Melbourne if you dare. One of the unique features of this hotel is the pool, because the swimming pool is actually open 24 hours a day, so you can go up there and swim anytime you want. And from, I believe it's 7 o'clock in the evening to 6 o'clock in the morning, it's adults only, so no children are allowed, which kind of makes it nice if you want to have a more peaceful time. Of course, you also have some pretty fun music playing in the background. We only walked about 15 miles yesterday, so we're burning daylight, and we probably need to get out and see some more of the city. Not that we're trying to avoid our steps, we're just trying to stay dry because, as you can tell, it's kind of a rainy day. But one of the cool things about Melbourne is the trams in the central business district are free. So we're gonna check that out real quick. Well, that was delightful. That cut us off about 10 minutes of our walking time, and now we are going to go and find some coffee.
The coffee here in Melbourne has been phenomenal. And as coffee lovers, and I dare say connoisseurs, I appreciate that. We are on our way to a, I will say, infamous coffee spot, which is called, do you remember what it was called?
It's called Little Gordon.
Little Gordon. There's maybe, perhaps, a special surprise when we get there. We'll have to see if that employee is working today. While we sit out here in the courtyard, which was a perfect recommendation by our barista, he recommended that since it was our first time to come out here to the courtyard, which absolutely, they have a palm tree inside of the courtyard. That's pretty cool. Anyway, Ryan's pretty sad.
Yeah, so we have come to the Little Gordon Cafe, and they used to have a employee here named Waddles, who was a Welsh Corgi, and he was so cute. He's all over Instagram, he's all over TikTok.
You can look him up.
You can definitely look him up, but apparently his owner decided to separate from the business, and now apparently Waddles is living his best life and running up and down the beaches of Australia.
Which is what I would prefer to do anyway.
Yeah, I'm still sad because I wanted to get some corgi time, but that's okay.
He got his Chester time the other day.
I did get my Chester time.
Don't feel bad for him.
And it's nice that we have Bill and Tara's corgi that lives next door. Shout out to Oreo if she's watching, which she's probably not because she's too busy. Mm-hmm. But
Definitely.
Anyway.
We're going to enjoy our coffee and our pistachio croissant. And then we're going to head back on the streets because we got more to see.
Oh, so good.
We have been staying in the CBD, or Central Business District of Melbourne, which is obviously designed for skyscrapers and businesses and busyness, but within a short walk of the CBD or tram ride, you can get to some incredibly beautiful parks and green spaces.
We have come to Fitzroy Gardens. Essentially, it's just a big park.
Yeah.
But it's very pretty, very green. Lots of people just running and enjoying this, well, I'd say gloomy, rainy day, but it's kind of nice, honestly.
This is wonderful.
It's hot. The weather is actually perfect, even though, yes, I have on a jacket, but
Still perfect.
it's still perfect, at least to us anyway.
Yes, we're enjoying this much cooler weather than Texas has in store for us. I got Ryan to actually go into the flower conservatory. He was afraid of bees, but I told him that they weren't around this temperature.
He's lying, I'm gonna slap him.
It's pretty in here. And it's free to enter, which is really cool. And it's inside the Fitzroy Gardens.
Welcome to the Block Arcade in Melbourne. This was significant back in the day as people would come here to meet. So men would walk in one direction on one side, women would walk the opposite direction on the other side, and you would look for someone who you thought was cute or someone you fancied. You would find them, you'd meet in the middle, and then you'd go watch the football game together. This place is also significant because right behind me is the oldest tea room in all of Australia. And we're going to go check it out.
The tea room's 1892 is small, but very well decorated, and they have a large variety of teas, light meals, and desserts. Since we've come to a lovely tea room, we've swapped out our afternoon coffee for cha-cha chai, which is the specific flavor of tea that we're having. It's a fragrant tea with cinnamon and cardamom and other spices. We also ordered some scones, which came with clotted cream and jam. The scones were warm and full of flavor.
That was super delicious. They have a lot more than just scones and tea. They do have your regular coffee because they do know how big their coffee culture is here in Melbourne and on all of Australia. But we obviously went for tea just because it makes sense. You're in a tea room. And we also went for a scone, partly because we wanted something light because we've got a lot to eat today. And we wanted to make sure that we had plenty of room to eat it all, even though we could have easily eaten a slice of cheesecake and an apple crumble and a Black Forest cake. But we're continuing to walk through this arcade, which I guess I would call more like a mall, at least from an American standpoint. It's an indoor shopping space. It's beautiful, it's old, or it feels old anyway, and we have a lot more walking to do.
We are standing in front of the main entrance to Chinatown here in Melbourne. There is actually a quite significant population of Chinese here, and they actually have their own Chinatown, which is full of different places to eat. A lot of restaurant, noodle houses, dumpling houses, tea houses, you name it, you can find it in this area of Melbourne.
We have made it onto one of the other many bridges across the Yarra River here in Melbourne, and with a beautiful sight of the city behind us. Of course, we did that intentionally.
We hope you've enjoyed seeing what Melbourne has to offer. We've only barely scratched the surface, and we'll definitely be back, especially to see our good friends Sharon and Chris. We had such a good time with them. But tomorrow we're hopping in a car and we're going to go drive the Great Ocean Road. So for now,
Thanks for traveling the world with us.